Fantastic. Okay. So James definitely got a tough start and a lot against him.
Yeah, I think does Lewis have access to a Thought Season? If Lewis Thought Seasons him on turn 1, he might be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Just sort of taking his last pieces there, and understanding that he'll be able to see that he's
no turn 1 plays from Lewis, indicating no Thought Seize. I guess that's got to be a real sigh of relief for James. Already dealing with so few resources. That is a Chromatic Sphere, yes.
Yeah, it looks like James has got 2 pieces of Tron already. If he finds his 3rd, he could just slam a card at this point.
It won't even matter about mulling to 5. If he gets Tron, then he doesn't really care about the card inventory because his big threats should equal to like 2 or 3 cards worth of value as they progress.
But Chromatic Sphere is also pretty important at this point because it does mean that if James does get Tron online next turn, he will have access to green mana for that World Breaker, but I think it's in his hand. And I mean, resolving World Breaker on turn 3 is pretty good. Would set Lewis back a bit.
Definitely.
It's also like, yeah, if Lewis doesn't have the path, it's reasonably difficult to deal with, right?
Yeah, definitely. And if you can't find that Tron, just having that Chromatic Sphere to be able to potentially play an Ancient Stirring, to play a Sylvan Scrying, really is high value. So looks like we've got a Grim Flayer played out by Lewis. Definitely, as we were saying before, important to get those early game threats out for Lewis to be able to have any chance against the value of a quick Tron. Pressure is important against Tron.
Yeah, if James whiffs on his Tron piece here, you can expect Lewis to start rigging top of his deck with Grim Flayer's activations. So he'll start getting rid of things like his dead removal spells. Oh, he did it! He
top decked it! Oh my goodness!
Okay, here we go. Here comes. I expect James is going to get rid of the white source.
Yes.
So Path to Exile is no longer an option.
Yeah. I believe James mentioned that in his article. He often likes taking out the white mana sources from Abzan just because, yeah, that Path to Exile, it shuts down a lot of the threats that Tron has. Not their planeswalkers, but their creature threats become a lot worse.
Or it just gets circumvents things like the World Breaker's ability to come back from the graveyard.
Yeah, that too.
But it looks like Lewis doesn't actually have Path right now.
Yeah, this is, wow, for a multi-5, that is about as perfect of a multi-5 as you could ask for, isn't it?
It is interesting though that Lewis didn't fetch a white source here. I'm not sure if he has enough white source in his hand. He's trying to preserve his life total a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe he's worried about the pressure that World Breaker provides for James.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what he has in his hand. If he does have the white source, then it's justifiable.
Yeah. So Goif doesn't look all that big.
Actually, no, I think he can't fetch a...
Oh, no, it probably is big.
No, I think he only has 1 Godless Shrine in his deck, which is now been exiled, so he couldn't get a second black source and the white source at the same time. Off the fetch, so he's got a Liliana in hand. He might be looking to try and set that up for next turn.
Yeah. Liliana, sacrifice. Of course, they can get back the World Breaker, but just being able to get some breathing room from the World Breaker would be nice.
Yep. So he's peeled the 3rd land there.
Yep.
It looks like James has scryed as well for another tower.
Yeah.
Which could be pretty problematic for Lewis because there's an Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger hanging out in James.
Interesting. So choosing again not to get a white source, so just sticking with the green-black lands. Instead of getting, say, a Temple Garden and shocking himself. I guess he realizes that the World Breaker is probably going to come back after he deals with it the first time, and because of this, he needs to be able to know that he has all his colors that he can operate on, and if he feels he can operate just on the green-black for now, then no point getting rid of more of your white sources in your deck.
Yeah, it's justifiable. I don't think it's... Yeah, I think he's going to be in a bit of trouble here, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is very rough for Lewis.
Okay, so he's with the Grim Flayer hit as well. He's found 2 white sources here, but I still don't think he has that Path to Exile.
Do you think he'd just get rid of all of them? He does.
Yeah. Like none of these cards
he just needs to find the path.
Well, he needs a path and a white source now. I think he's going to have a bit of a rude awakening here and it's an Ugin off the top as well.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
that is...
Okay, Ugin's coming down, it's going to just wrath this entire field away.
Yep.
All those coloured permanents are going to be exiled with -3 from Ugin.
-3, yeah. And 4 toughness, 4 loyalty is very difficult to deal with as well, especially when ticking up.
These green-black X decks don't really interact very well with Planeswalkers outside of things like Maelstrom Pulse.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think Lewis actually has no Maelstrom Pulse's main deck.
And of course, what you're giving up as playing Abzan rather than Jund is access to things like Dreadbore.
And even just Lightning Bolt. You can't point a direct damage at a Planeswalker. You can't point Path of Exile at an Ugin or something.
Yeah, usually what they'd want to be doing against normal Planeswalkers that aren't 8 mana, like play Lingering Souls to pressure them. But against something like an Ugin, Lingering Souls looks very underwhelming.
Yep, so I think we're going to see the Ulamog this turn.
Yeah.
And I think that might be enough to
force a concession.
Lock this game up.
Wow, what a mull of 5. Really fantastic sequences from James, and really unfortunate Lewis not having the Thoughtseize to disrupt, not having the Path to Exile to remove, and there goes his lands. It's just tragedy after tragedy on Lewis's side.
Yeah, I think finding that turn 3 Urza Tower was huge for James.
Yeah.
Just being able to go straight from effectively 2 mana straight up to 7 is bit of a jump.
Definitely.
I bet Lewis isn't feeling too good about that turn 3.
No. Particularly, that was a top deck, right? That came off the top.
Yeah, it was quite savage.
That's it's very unfortunate for Lewis. If it might have been a bit of a closer game otherwise, but this is why you design your deck to have 4 of each Tron land. You want to draw them.
Yeah, I think we might see concession before James gets to attack with that Ulamog. Because
just to not reveal
not to reveal 20 cards from his deck. But I mean, Lewis could just be battler and just fight through it.
Yeah. And maybe he feels like he'd rather know a little bit more about what James is doing rather than what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't think he really gets too much out of James's turn, unfortunately, because James doesn't have to cast any more spells for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
He's got an active Ugin and an Ulamog.
Yeah, rolling down Ugin to deal with the Goyf. Is he
he's going to do it. Let's see these 20 cards.
For the stream.
For the fans at home.
Yeah. What if he plays them and then scoops? At
what point do you get to scoop?
What if he's got it in hand? He's I scoop just before James can look at anything. No, it looks like they're counting them up.
Yeah, and it's also a hit for 10 as well. I mean,
it really seems like a lights out situation for Lewis.
So I guess moving on to the sideboard at this point, and I think so Lewis has got his Maelstrom Pulses in the sideboard, which he could probably use to move those plus the Fulminator Mages might give him
3 Fulminator Mages, great.
Yeah, definitely.
Very important.
I guess an underrated sideboard card as well is probably the Stony Silence. It's hiding out in there. It's only 1 copy though, but he can use that to shut down things like James's Chromatic Spheres and his Expedition maps. So a whole bunch of the Tron, Tron light artifacts that help you fix and help you generate green mana, help you find pieces of Tron, that sort of thing.
Definitely.
Even what's it called? Sorry, Oblivion Stone.
Yeah,
is it Oblivion Stone? Yeah, because that's just one of the Tron's best ways.
Shutting down Oblivion Stone is very relevant because Oblivion Stone isn't just creatures; it's non-land permanents. So it also hits your lilies.
Non-land permanents without a fate counter.
Without a fate counter. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't foresee James seeing a situation to put a fate counter on your opponent's pieces. So
I mean, if it's a very important storyline character, I'm sure we might see it.
Yeah. It's about the law.
It is.
If he might just choose to give Liliana a fate counter just for the sake of
Yeah, I'm fairly sure Lewis is playing the Liliana theme.
Alright, so James has taken out his 2 World Breakers despite them having a decent performance.
Yeah, I mean, once again, they get exiled by Path to Exile. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're one of the worst cards you could have.
Yeah, that's fair. And instead is bringing in Thragtusk and Emrakul.
The Promised End.
The Promised End
from Eldritch Moon.
Well, I would love to see some taking control of turns in the grand finals of this modern event.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do things like Thoughtseize yourself as well.
Man, isn't that the dream?
I'm fairly sure Lewis would have fired a whole Thoughtseize by then.
Man, what if he's got a Collective Brutality in hand? That's when things get beautiful.
I'm pretty sure Lewis would drop his Collective Brutalities because the -2/-2 does nothing. The Drain is very, very not great. And the instant sorceries don't really exist.
Yeah. There's a lot of reason to side out your Collective Brutalities.
Yeah, I think Lewis would
so that dream
trimming
is
down.
dead.
I think he'd be trimming down on Abrupt Decays, Maybe his Mishra's Baubles.
Yeah.
Maybe his Murderous Cuts, that sort of thing. I might even see Lingering Soul not make it anymore.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of 1/1s are pretty slow.
It's so slow against this sort of deck.
Yeah.
And look, this has got to be really disheartening for Lewis, given that he just saw his opponent mull to 5 and still win in a very crushing fashion. It's going to be tough. But it's not out of the realm of possibility for Lewis, and it'll be interesting to see how this game plays out. They're drawing their opening hands now. Let's see if they like what they see.
Okay, I see one Tron piece and a Sylvan Scrying.
Yeah, there's also Ancient Stirrings by the looks of it in James' hand. So
a
lot of ways to find the Tron pieces for James, which is great.
Yeah, so Lewis will be looking for like Thoughtseizer's early pressure like Tarmogoyf.
Lewis is really in the tank about this hand.
Yeah, I don't think a Liliana's going to cut it.
Yeah, Liliana.
There's a Path to Exile there as well, and Maelstrom. So it's a very reactive hand. He needs that early pressure, so I think he's going to ship this one.
It's hard to look at a hand with no pressure and say that's what I want against Tron. Like, it had some of the better answers for a Tron deck, but if you can't put on pressure on their life total, they will get Tron, and you will probably still lose. So.
Yeah, I think he really needs that. Those Fulminator Mages as well. Just ways to interact with James's non-creature based strategy.
Yeah. I liked how Lewis just looked up at the camera there and just rolled his eyes a little bit, just expressing maybe a little bit of frustration with the situation. I definitely think Tron was probably not the matchup he was hoping to play against in the finals.
Yeah, I think he knows he's in a bit of a bad spot here.
Yeah.
He would have much rather played against Affinity.
Yeah.
And I think for James as well, dodging Infect in the finals is huge for him.
Yeah. It's been a very beneficial series of events for James so far in this top 8. Well, let's... is he keeping? He is. Scry? No good.
All right, let's have a look what he's got. So he's got... I can see a Thoughtseize in there, and the Goyf.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he starts with a tap land, so he doesn't get to Thoughtseize right away. Which means he's going to have to choose between Thoughtseize effects or Goyf on turn 1.
I think we might see that Thoughtseize get fired off. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we are. So, Oblivion Stone, Ancient Stirrings, Khan. Khan, oh my goodness. This is not what you want to be going up against.
Okay, I'm fairly sure we'll see him take the Ancient Stirrings here. So there's a Mishra's Workshop in there as well. I mean, Urza's Factory, Urza's Factory. Okay. The land which makes 2/2s.
Interesting choice.
But I think he's going to take the Ancient Stirrings.
Yeah, I think you gotta play the game plan that you realize, okay, if I take Khan, that doesn't actually change anything. Instead, I can hope that my opponent doesn't hit Tron.
Yeah, if he doesn't, because if James doesn't hit Tron, that Oblivion Stone isn't really doing too much.
And the Khans aren't doing anything either. Ancient Stirrings does seem like the correct take here.
As we said,
it also makes the map a lot worse as well, because if you don't know which land you need to search for, it's a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, as we said before, this is Lewis trying to stumble him before he gets his pressure online.
So, just cracking this now. I'm just gonna get another one of those Tron lands.
Okay, so he has Mine and Power Plant at this point.
Yeah, still missing that tower. And he also doesn't have a way in hand to find it. He did draw a Chromatic Star, so he has the ability to use colored mana to search.
Okay.
Should his lands be tapped? Oh, he did that.
Okay, so Lewis is missing green mana, unfortunately.
Oh, so Lewis is past the turn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tragic. So, no pressure for Lewis, and...
so James is going to just begin the long...
The long search. So
yeah, he's going to try and find that last piece.
He drew an Ugin. Great card to have if he hits that last piece. And Lewis has got his green source finally. It's a little late, but... it does mean he can put on some pressure, so getting out that Grim Flare to help filter through his deck and put some pressure on.
Yeah, in terms of picking between Tarmogoyf and Grim Flare definitely sets up for a better Tarmogoyf later on.
Yeah.
Also lets him try and set up his draws a bit better and try and get past all the cards he doesn't need. And unfortunately for him, James has got an Ancient Stirrings here, so he's going to look at 5 cards at this turn, and he finds that there's a tower.
There's the tower.
Right on the top.
Right on the top. Tower was already coming, and this just solidifies it.
So I think we're going to see a Khan come down this turn.
Yeah,
and maybe even exile that forest.
Exiling forest would be...
Yeah, because Lewis clearly doesn't have any other green sources.
No, he just takes out the Grim Flare.
Yep, that's fair.
Look, I think he realizes at this point that he just wants to keep his Khan as healthy as possible, and he can play the Ugin next turn to deal with whatever is played next. And then at that point, it seems very unlikely for Lewis to find an out.
Yeah, I can't help but feel that James could exile almost anything at this point.
As an Anafenza the Foremost played, and actually getting rid of the Khan,
I think
probably
we'll
to play a second one. Yeah,
taking out that forest this time.
Yeah, he doesn't.
You can do it, James.
Yeah. It's like, look, I could have an Ugin and a Khan, but do you know what? Double Khan's fine.
There we go.
Yeah, that
figured it out.
Yeah, that is a very difficult board.
So I see James placing the forest underneath his Khan.
Yeah,
because just maybe he'll restart the game.
Just maybe, yeah, he'll restart the game. You know,
Okay, so he's revealed the Emrakul, the promise end to his ancient stirrings there.
Oh my goodness, I really want to see that played now.
Oh, I want to see this win the game.
He's
a Goyf.
There's a Goyf. Oh, please do it for the stream, James. Yeah, he's counting up his different permanents in his graveyard now.
Does he have enough? He has Planeswalker Sorcery, Artifact.
Artifact, yeah.
He got 3, so Emrakul costs
10.
What, 10
he
mana?
Definitely has 10 mana.
Well. He's got 9. I can see 9 on the field. Does he have another land in hand? There's a Worm Coil.
I would even consider not rolling up with Khan just because you're about to do the...
No, I don't think he can cast Emrakul this turn. I think he has 9 mana.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Sorry, I thought that was another Tron piece. No, it's the Urza's Factory.
Sorry, he'll just play a different storyline character.
Yeah.
Ugin the Spirit Dragon.
Yeah, also an important character in the lore.
Yeah, very, 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 very key to... was it not Kanzataki? Fate Reforged, in fact.
Yeah. He was the Fate that got reforged.
Yeah, he was in fact not... he was dead, I believe. And then Sarkhan changed the timeline. And Ugin was Ugin won the fight between him and Nicol Bolas instead.
Really?
Which are
well, in this situation, it looks like the fate was already in James's favor, and it's been reforged to be more in James's favor.
Yeah, I think that James may indeed be playing a Fateful Hour theme deck.
Yeah, that's it.
Based around Dark Ascension.
Yeah.
The key word of that set.
Yeah.
He's on 5 or less life.
It's important. Yeah. Fateful Hour / Mirrodin or
no, that was Dark Ascension.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dark Ascension. Good set. It was a fine year for Magic. Well,
it was.
Well, I don't know.
So Lewis choosing between the 2 key storyline figures of New Phyrexia and Fate Reforged.
Yeah.
He's decided to hit the Fate Reforged dragon instead, and we're going to see a third mythic creature from a storyline set.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the Emrakul here. So we have 2 good guys and a bad guy coming down.
Wow. That is the old 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
This is looking pretty grim for Lewis.
Oh my goodness. Get it? 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I think Lewis is in a bit of trouble here. This wormhole engine is locking things up.
Yeah.
I think James kind of understands that.
I think
I don't know why I didn't cast the Emrakul there.
Yeah. Just being like, hey, look, we could have this Emrakul, but I'd rather just play the Worm Coil, have some fun. just keep it going, not break hopes just yet.
Okay.
I think James is making the line, which is, how do I get to play this game the longest?
Have some fun, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Like his odds of losing if he continues the game are like 0 point something, so he might as well have fun having obscene amount of mana.
Yeah, so Lewis has rolled down Liliana to make James sacrifice his Worm Coil engine.
Yeah.
Which created 2/3/3 worms. One's lifelink, one's death touch.
Yeah.
So Liliana's down as well.
One coming out at Lily.
Yep, so another storyline character down.
Yeah.
And that Ugin's bolting Lewis in the face at this point.
Yeah.
Will we see the Emrakul this turn?
I can only dream.
Here we go. Okay. He's getting ready.
He's having fun ticking up Planeswalkers and their loyalty.
So Khan gets a Goyf as well.
Yeah. Oh man, if he resets... Oh, he's just passing the turn. My word.
I mean, realistically, he could expect something like a Damnation or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's reasons.
No, that Inquisition is not going to do much work.
Inquisition looks at an Emrakul, it's like, look, I'm bigger than Kozilek. Like, you can't inquire on me. And Lewis,
maybe James is setting up for a turn where Emrakul really is the promised end of the game.
Yeah. Emrakul comes out right as he's already going to do lethal from Ugin.
Yeah, I think that Goyf should go on lethal.
Maybe he's wanting to ultimate Ugin and then play the Emrakul.
Yeah.
The Ugin ultimate. Ugin bringing Eldrazi.
Oh no, here we go. Okay, so James has cast Emrakul, the promised end.
Yes.
So he now gets control of Lewis's next turn, and Lewis gets another turn. Okay, so Lewis is going to...
So he's going to fetch and fail to find. And he scoops him up.
Okay.
Thanks, Lewis, for being like such a good sport and letting that go on
yeah,
for as long as
Lewis.
it did.
It's pretty tough facing down 3 key figures and storylines. As of Vorthos, I think that the Emrakul, Khan, and Ugin are all very, very powerful cards and very hard to deal with, especially in the modern format.
Yeah, and do you know what's also powerful? James pulling out this win.
Yeah, James of Green Red Tron. He wrote an article series of Paragon Games, and he just stuck to his guns and turned up and just crushed it. Yeah.
Wins with the first Paragon Games Modern Open.
Second one.
Second one.
Yeah,
my bad.
Last week as well. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Missed out, Ben.
Yeah, I know. I was 6, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, congratulations to James on that one.
Yeah, just proven. Look, I can win with what I give all the information out to the internet, like teach everyone, and win with that information.
It really goes to show that Modern's a format about playing what you know.
Yes.
James has been playing Green Red Tron for as long as he really could.
Yeah. He's very knowledgeable about how it plays. He knows every engine, and he pilots it very well. We're watching him deal with a lot of tough situations throughout this event, and he's really shown he knows how to pilot it.
Yeah, I mean, like when the stars align and you draw your Tron pieces on turn 3, you're good.
Yeah, that's it. He also knows how to top deck. Yes,
I mean, like all of it comes together. Like his
definitely
play skill, getting a bit lucky every now and then. Like it all works out.
Apparently, in this tournament, he played against 4 affinity matches, which is a bad matchup, and won. I think most. He won against all of them.
He's claimed to fame today as well. He beat Infect. Apparently, he's beaten Infect twice.
Really?
Yeah. So wow. Yeah, James, formidable Green Red Tron player.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Beating even the tough matchups for the deck. So,
yeah, definitely.
So, well done and congratulations to James O'Rourke, pulling out a fantastic win, and he'll be going to the Paragon Games Championships, which are coming up soon. Next upcoming is the Ruby Open, which will be standard at the Games Capital on Saturday, 29th of October at 10 a.m. So coming up very soon, and it'll be another chance if you want to play to be able to enter in. If you win, you get into qualification to the championships coming up in November, end of November, which will be standard at 3D6 on November 26th. If you can get to that, it'll be quite an exciting match. You're definitely pulling for that, aren't you, Jim?
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, Calendar Standard, which is at the Pro Tour, actually happening right now.
Yeah, we're seeing all the new decks.
It'll be fun to start playing with the new decks and see how it goes.
Yeah, and next week we get to see them in action in our local metas, see who's playing what and what prevails.
Yeah, it'll be good to sort of follow up from the PPTQ the weekend before. And
definitely. Now
how can replace that.
Yeah, now that we've got those Pro Tour decks, list will probably be out by then. We'll know what performed well, what didn't, and we'll see how the metagame shifts from there, which will be fantastic. So that's all. Thank you very much for tuning in for this Paragon Games tournament series. This was the Onyx series. Please tune in, check out our website at paragongames.com.au and look to register for future events. My name was Ben, along with me was Jim.
Hello.
And I hope you join us next time.
Thanks.